The seed of YWAM Constanta was planted in the summer of 1994 when a short-term team came to Constanta from Norway to do evangelism. Well, Andreas Nordli was in that team, and in 1998 he moved to Constanta, to Romania, to start working with evangelism, church planting, and to mobilize Romanians to do missions and to reach the unreached. So Andreas and the team was involved mostly in church planting, and they also were involved in helping a local church called Faro Church to develop a ministry among the homeless and the elderly people. In 2000, God spoke to them, to the team, to start a ministry as YWAM Constanta, not just to help the church, what they continued to do, but to have their own ministry. And God, throughout that, did so many things for this to happen. Besides helping the church, then they started a coffee house as a ministry, and also during the summer they did a festival called 100% for Christ. From that time on, YWAM Constanta has developed many ministry with children at risk, and nowadays we have a ministry among the gypsy people called Harry Conda ministry. We have the King's Kids. We have summer nightlife outreach. So we are a very colorful community, full of joy, full of life, with different cultures, different backgrounds, and God is working for the good of the seed through us, in us, as a team, as a community. What appeals most for me is see people really leaving their comfort zone and going somewhere else and obeying what God is telling them, and make the difference among the people that they are working with. So it really inspires me to see the testimonies that they went through, the testimonies about what they lived and how God worked in all things together for the good, and this is very inspirational for sure. What I learned digging this story was there is one testimony that Andreas wrote about a guy that wants to buy a house to work with children, would be a kind of day center, and in Andreas' mind it will not be possible, and then God did that, and was wow, this really teaches me that God is the one that does. It's not about us, it's about Him. It's about His character, it's about what He wants to do in the midst of the people we are working with. Connected to the international and national stories is the how can I say that, the heart of people always is the same: to reach, to glorify God among the nation God is calling them to. So I can see it here as well, and we have many stories in nowadays that I have lived with other YWAMers here that is really similar to some stories from Lauren Canehans, from some leader in the national level, and that's really what make me feel like, okay, we are really an international, national, and local family. My contribution is I want to work with women and glorify God, glorify His name in this nation among the women. And this is what is in my heart. This is what I have been dreaming for. And I hope that I can, together here in Constanta, with the leadership, with like the colleagues that we have, to reach this goal and glorify God's name in the city and among the women. Yes, that's my dream. My vision for Constanta is to see our ministries really reaching the city and bringing transformation and the name of God being glorified, people really knowing God. What is in our hearts really, make Him known in this city, in this nation, and to see God's hand working in us, through us, for the sake of His kingdom. And this, I think that YWAM Constanta is together with the same heart, the same mind, and working for the good of His kingdom. Yes.